everyone, Michelle here from Scrappy Soul Sister, and I am going to be doing a tag album today with my creative scrapbook using the limited edition kit for September because it came with all these great tags. Now, some of them I used on a different layout, and these are the ones that I have left. And so, what I thought I would do is back. I could do a key ring, but I think I want to back it instead. And so what I'm going to do, each of these are 2.5 by 4. And so 2.5, I should have figured this out before, but 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 tags per piece. And I have 7 tags. So if I do 2 strips at 4.25, I wanted to use this piece, which I might have just enough of. Because I really like this paper. Of course, a lot of it might be covered, so maybe I'll do that on the back and use this on the front. Either that or I have still these 2 pieces. So either of those would work. The cherry might be really cute, but it has like elements on the back I was thinking about cutting out. The same with this one. There's some elements on the back that I could cut out. And so not 100% sure, but I'm warming up to this one because I don't think that I have enough of this. Maybe I do. We'll see. And so what will happen is, I'll back it and then it'll be scored and then it'll be like a ribbon tied enclosure book. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to put pictures in it or I might give it away just like as a cute little baby brag book type of scenario. So yes, that's what I'm going to be working on today. So thank you for joining me for this process and let's get started.
So I did decide to go with the cherry paper. It just seemed like it would show up the best behind my tags. And so I'm lining things up, making sure they're going to fit correctly. Now I decide to do it like this, where you can see the paper above and below the tag. You could always do like a 2.5 or 3 inch strip behind the tags just to hold those tags together. Um, so options, there's always options. I am inking my uh, exterior of my paper, or really anything in pink. I'm inking with peacock feathers, and then anything in the teal or aqua color, I'm going to ink with, I believe, quiche flamingo. So I'm in the process of getting that inking done right now. And then I will go ahead and look at adhering these pieces together. So I'm starting to mount my tags, and before I adhere too much down, I want to go ahead and pick out my ribbon that I'm going to use for my enclosure. And so I've done that. I adhere it behind my first tag there. And I'm just going to use liquid adhesive that will be the best at holding something like a ribbon in place. Let it dry for a couple seconds, and then I'll go ahead and start adhering my tags. Now, I'm using just a little bookbinder tool that I have to space out my tags. really anything that you might have. I'm going to do that in quarter-inch increments. And I'm just doing every other. So I have a cute little phrase on one side of my book, and then a piece that I can either have picture or that I can add some more embellishments on the other side. And so I am going to go ahead and adhere my two strips together because obviously I need more than one 12-inch strip, and getting all these lined up. And I think I am almost done. Just one more of the teal, and I still, even with lining things up, I managed to be crooked there. And then I'm going to cut off that end. I'm going to finish adhering the two pieces together because I really just did it in one section there. And then I'm going to go ahead and score in between all of my tags there. So once I have adhered them all and scored them all, then I will also take my bone folder and don't do what I did, which was, totally forget to glue down my ribbon on the far right side under that tag, but it's pretty easy to lift it up and get a little piece of ribbon under there. So it worked out just fine. So finish scoring, and then I will fold it accordion style and go ahead and use my bone folder to make sure my edges are crisp, but not so much that I tear the paper, which is always a struggle for me. I always tend to be a little bit firm with my bone folder. So I'm making sure my ribbon is long enough. I'm also going to um, just notch my edges so it keeps that tag shape. And once I have done that, I'm going to do just a final trimming towards the top. I want some of that background paper to show, but I want it to be, equal with my other sides. And so I do trim that up a little bit. And yeah, oh, and here I am with my bone folder that I mentioned I was going to use earlier. Now, one thing about an album like this, if you had more tags or you wanted to cut more tags or you just wanted to decorate the back, you certainly can do that and have your album um, hold lots of pictures or sayings or whatever you choose to do. In this book, I'm just going to decorate the front. So I'm just doing a little bit of trimming, like I mentioned before, and I'm will ink up those edges finally, and then I think, oh, once I've done this and inked up these edges, I do want to put something through the tag loop. So I will go through with my hole punch and punch through that backing so I can go ahead and tie off all of my tags. And I just use a blue floss to tie those off. So there is that process. I don't think I make you watch all of this because it's pretty repetitive. So I have all of my holes punched and I'm probably looking for my blue thread there, and I'm just going to tie some knots at the top with this blue thread or floss, whatever you want to call it. I think it's waxed thread is what it's called. And I bought a bunch of different colors just in a collection from Amazon. It's been very handy to have. So I'm going to decorate the front of my book. I'm going to use a couple of flowers, that balloon that I cut out of one of the 12 by 12s. And then this little gal, I love, he is facing the right direction and is the right scale. So I thought that was pretty stinking cute. So I'm making my final decision on flowers, and then I'm going to add a little phrase, and that cover is going to be done. Looking at a few different things. Really, the parcel post fits the best. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then I might add, yeah, a little heart. I can't remember. Um, Also going to use a floral and just a little puppy dog on this page, as well as a little word sentiment that I cannot pronounce because it's in French. But I'm just adhering all of that down. And I almost have it the way I want it. That's probably how it turns out, right about like that. And then I'm going to use this little girl. I think she's super cute. I also look at, and I might come back to that at the end. You see, I'm playing with the left side. I like the cherries, but it just feels like it needs more dimension. But I just move on, and I'm using that little gal. And I'm also taking, I think I'm done with that, but I come back and do a bit more. So on the last page, I've added the little fairy riding the rabbit, and so I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to use for each element. So for the little girl, I come back with one of the chipboard pieces you see there. It does have a little bit of a gap in the center that I thought would be a good place to put a flower. And so I'm going to adhere that down, adhere my little girly girl, and I'm using double stick foam adhesive just on the edge so it is about the same height or a little bit taller than the chipboard piece. Going to adhere that pink flower and the "You are the sweetest feeling" sentiment. And then I do come back, I cut up some of the large cherry embellishments that I have left, and I stick those above the flowers. And so once this is adhered, I'll add those cherries. That might be something I come back to. That's the part of the fun thing about doing a little tag album is you're just creating lots of um, little clusters, and so I bounce back and forth quite a bit. I did want to add just a few embellishments to some of the phrases that are on the left. So I add that green heart to the bunny, and then I did go ahead and add that pink round bunny piece across from the little girl. And now I am seeing, okay, I want to fit something in there, so I'm going to get this strawberry or this cherry piece in there and adhering that down. And then I added a butterfly. You might be able to see that next to the little hedgehog and books. And now the final piece is adding a flower and the Paris word phrase to that last piece. And that will be my book. It came out super cute. I'm really happy with it. It'll make a cute brag book, hopefully, for someone. And if you are looking to do something different with your limited edition kit, well, there is definitely lots of opportunity to make creative little projects. So check out my creative scrapbook, and here are some close ups. Thank you, everyone.